I said, what if I looked around at everything with love? What if I heard? What if I gave? What if my hand reached out to everything with love? What if I'm a beacon of that light that shines in all of us? And what if I'm the only guide some will see? Then I must recognize within His spirit, and it's only love. And I must be what I've come here to be. And I know the first step begins within me. What if I felt perfectly whole?
Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Michelle Izuku and Reverend Jeannie. Begin Within Ministries proudly presents Sofa Sundays with your hosts, Reverend Dr. Michelle Izuku and Reverend Jeannie Sovereigns. Sundays at 11:11 a.m. Arizona time and rebroadcasts on Mondays at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. Come join us on the sofa every Sunday morning. Sofa Sundays with Michelle and Jeannie. Learn more at www.beginwithinministries.com. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.
Come closer to us, can we?
I know that this is all for me. This is
No, because it's plugged in.
It's plugged in.
It's plugged in.
Okay. This is what I mean. Like, can we do this?
No. Okay. Let me
No,
move
it's
it.
on
Let me
YouTube.
move it. Let me move it. That's just gonna be.
There we go.
That'll be good.
All right, that'll just have to be. No, we're not.
Our big new
Yes.
fancy camera doesn't want to work
We
today.
can't get it to work today, so. Wow, it's a full house
But
in
it's a
here,
full house. We're so excited you all are here.
right?
Yes.
Well, we're not there yet. Good morning, Krista. We are coming on, we're live. Thank you. Oh, wow.
Now this is how I like to see you.
That's right. I like it when everybody's so done. Thank you.
Everybody for being here today.
Yes,
So
yes.
excited.
This is for me. It is.
Oh, it's for Miss
It's
Ann.
for Ann.
And
I thought-
welcome back, Miss Ann. We're so
Welcome
happy
back,
she's back in the
Ann.
house.
We have missed you. I really thought it was for Dakota's birthday.
It could be for Dakota's
Because Dakota's birthday is tomorrow, and Dakota turns 29. She keeps saying.
She told me 29.
29, 5029. That's how we do that.
We should be.
Oh, yes, tomorrow. Yeah, that would be cool. So let's see, what are we doing? Well, one, we're at Sofa Sunday, so welcome.
Yes, welcome. And I'm sorry you're not here in person.
Right, because
The whole crowd just showed up today.
yeah, we do have a few more seats available. So if
Looks
you're
like
running
we're
behind,
We're
come
gonna
on
start
over.
putting out more seats.
I know. So we are located here at 7220 North 16th Street between Northern and Glendale in Phoenix, Arizona, 85020.
Home
Chip-
of.
Home of.
Oh,
the-
wait, did you say 1A? Like you
and we're in building 1A, and you'll know that because the ladies are on the door.
Oh, we're not girls anymore.
No,
We're
we're
the
ladies.
ladies.
And where's this? The home.
I'll do that part. This is the
Oh,
home.
thank you.
Reverend Dr. Michelle.
Third cup of
Whittington's
coffee tonight.
Work, her practice, she does that in this building, which is why it feels so good in here when you guys come here. It's not just us, but we help, I think.
We do help,
We
I
help with the
believe. You
vibe.
help
with
with this vibe.
With the vibe in
This
this
great
space.
vibe.
Oh, it's so good.
Yes.
So if you're wanting to check out some of the things that she has going on, she's our greatest mentor. She's one of the biggest reasons why we sit on the sofa right now. So you can go to her website at unleashyourlife.us and check out all the classes. She's got books.
And she has a class coming up that after you listen to today's topic, I just want to invite you to join this class. So starting this Thursday night from, I think it's it starts at 5:30. I can't remember how long. This Thursday night, May 29th, and it is 4 nights. The class is $79. Unless you're in best year yet, then you have a 30% off. So it starts this Thursday night, and it is I have posted on our Facebook page, so the link is there on Sofa Sunday's Facebook page.
You could put in the comments on this one too.
And we could do that too. Yeah, I just want to have everybody know that there are availability for online classes, and this is one of them. And it's 4 Thursday nights. So join us. I'm in the class, so join us there.
What's the class called?
I knew you were going to ask me that. Oopsie. Yeah. Now I got to go to our Facebook page, and I'll tell you. But why I am recommending this class is because it is a PQ. It is a PQ class.
Positive intelligence
type
class.
of thing, and yeah, I don't know what the name. I just said. It follows along with our topic.
Okay, we'll get it for you. We'll get it for you.
Yeah,
In the
I have the
comments,
name
so
of it.
don't worry about it. Just go check the comments.
Yes,
Just so be there for you.
put it in the comments
I'll
for
write
us.
comments.
Thank you, Abby. All right. So, do you want me to pray in, or do you want to pray in?
Yes, go ahead. Pray.
All right.
Go right ahead.
All right.
I'm gonna stick this on top of theirs.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
So if it's available for you, close your eyes or soften your gaze. And just become mindful of where your body is, how it is supported in your seat, and how your feet are right here, right now, in this divine yumminess that is God, in this sacred space that is Sofa Sundays, knowing that there is only one life, one heartbeat, one breath, one divine energy that is, and that this is the truth of me, as it is Michelle, as it is each and every person here and within the sound of my voice and beyond. So I speak my word for the highest and best good of this time together, knowing that everything that needs to be revealed, healed, spoken, and heard is already done in the mind of God. And I send blessings out to leaders and teachers of all countries and faiths, knowing that they are divinely guided, guarded, and protected, each and every one. Knowing that God is all there is, regardless of our opinion, regardless of what appears to be happening, that this is only God. And in knowing this, we release control. We release control and we embrace creativity, the creation, the knowing that all is working for our highest and best. And in this space, I just let it go, calling it good, releasing it now into the law that only says yes. Faith, truth, and trust. And together we say, and so it is. There we go. So we let that go.
Man, I love how the law always says yes.
The law always says
That
yes.
makes it so much easier.
It really is.
Because I'm not like, did it say yes?
Did it say yes?
No.
Is it going to
Is it
be?
gonna, no.
Yeah.
It just says yes.
So we started watching from millions of years ago, or 20, okay. Heroes, remember that show from 2006?
Yeah.
So,
Do you know the year?
oh, well, I had to look it up. I had to look it up as we started watching it. And, you know, one of the things about this show was how this one artist would paint the future, right? Save the cheerleader, save the world. Okay, so he would paint the future and other people would go, and do the things that needed saving and that type of thing. And one of the things that I saw in this was the difference between those who had blind faith in, well, there it is. I know I'm supposed to do something. I'm a hero. And those who had no idea and didn't want to know. And this was kind of like percolating in me because this week I had a kind of beautiful situation. You know, I wasn't here last weekend.
I do know this.
Yeah, but I did try to watch you guys. I watched about halfway.
I greatly missed when you're on the sofa. I will say though, wasn't Laura amazing? Laura Rosenberg, she was amazing on the sofa last week.
She
so
is.
grateful to you. Everybody that sat on the sofa with us, it's been amazing. But they're never going to be you.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that.
You.
But I do say that she is awesome. We have now walked on fire with Laura twice. So I will say that she is spectacular.
Great energy.
Yes, her consciousness is awesome.
I agree.
Absolutely. So I thank you again, Laura.
Love you, Laura.
And so, hi, welcome. Come on in.
Hello.
Oh, hi. We got a full house in here today. I know. Right. Oh, okay. Well, hold on, guys.
I want a selfie of this.
Oh, thank you.
They're old friends.
Yeah.
You gotta smile. You're making
Y'all got a smile there. All right. Wait a minute. I don't know if I can get everybody in. Oh, I gotta do it this way. Everybody! Get out of my way. All right. There we go. You know, we're excited when we have a full house like this. And I just loved your reaction because Lynn's been here when Lynn has had the whole service to herself. So
And Lynn,
here's what you know. Abby's been that person as well, but yeah.
we're the same. So like if it's one or a bunch, we love it all.
Yeah.
This is
But we don't take
fun.
a selfie if there's only one of
I'm
you.
sorry.
I'm just gonna say that.
You're right.
We're not gonna brag at that too much. So what I was saying is that so I had this amazing weekend last weekend. Dakota and I were in the woods. For those of you that are on my Facebook page, you saw the huge rainbow trout. I'm gonna do that fish thing, right? It was like this big.
It was that big.
It was huge.
Wow.
And Dakota is the person that you want with you in the woods. She can catch the fish, fillet the fish, cook the fish. I just sat and read my book. It was amazing. It's just like, you might not want to watch this, babe. And I would just like take a quick picture, not looking to see the plane. But because I generally don't eat things with faces on.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah, that's like a thing for me. It was delicious.
But
It was
it's really
amazing.
magnificent to see
Oh
her
my God.
ability in that.
I
That's
had-
like a huge deal.
And I've never had like lake to table food before. It was amazing. Just popped out into the, and on my plate. It was awesome. And there was also no Wi-Fi, which the first day I'm like, oh no. That was
Was she just like
yes, I was just like that because I was also on call. So
Well, that was good time.
Oh,
I know.
So I would have to walk up to the street. I would have to walk up to to check and stuff like that. So I got to the point where I was like, I'm gonna let it go and I'm gonna be fine. And I read a 700-page book and the world didn't end, and it was great.
We're all here.
I acted like it was 1999 and I had conversations and the whole thing. And I was floating for like 3 days on this, right? Like I came back and I was just so, yeah, whatever. And then I walked in Thursday morning and on my desk was a letter addressed to me.
No.
And I was like, somebody wrote me a letter. And it was my assistant and it was her resignation. And all that. Yeah, get a hold of me.
She's like,
Right?
I have it.
And I had been at Unity of Phoenix Wednesday night where
Michelle Whittington was speaking, and I'm part of her Glee club. And I follow her around when she speaks, as long as it's not a Sunday morning. And, so she talked about letting go and trusting in the creative process.
Letting God thing?
Yeah, it was like a whole thing. And I was just all, when you've spiritually hit it and you're rolling with it and nothing can touch you until that letter on your desk.
Yes.
And that set me into this control tailspin. Yeah. Like I did not, my partner will tell you I'm a control freak, but I don't believe her. Right? Like, no, I'm not. I let go and let God all the time. And this showed me out of mindfulness and inner peace, what a control freak I actually am. You should have heard some of the things I was planning on doing, like working during my surgery time off. And my work wife was like, "Are you kidding me?" And I go, "Oh, just thanks for the support." She goes, "I ain't supporting that." It was something else. I reached out to you, but you were having your own thing. The kids were all graduating. All the kids graduated. Yes. We had our 8th graders are now high schoolers.
Congratulations,
And Trey,
can you believe it?
Man, he turned 18 and now he graduated from high school. That's
Those
it.
of you that remember at CLF when he was a little boy on stage.
The one who always had to have the microphone.
Yep. Yeah, that guy, he just graduated from high school.
Yes.
On Thursday, and he's a grown-ass man.
He's a grown-ass man now.
He's got muscles.
Yeah, he's not as tall as the 14-year-old.
I know, exactly. True.
Yeah.
So I know. So I was
you were a little, but you held high watch for me as well.
I said, no way. No, I don't think so. You're not going to work.
Yeah.
No,
and you said it too.
Break.
Yeah.
You're having your break.
And so I recently posted on Facebook, it's like, achieve enlightenment and still have to do laundry, right? And that's kind of how I feel. Like sometimes it's like all the tools in the world doesn't stop my human nature from having a response.
Right.
However, the tools keep the response from putting me under, from me working during a break, from me trying to control situations that I have no business trying to control, and I mean, it was a whole day event. Dakota will tell you. I had moments all day long, and I had to work late that day. So there was just so much that I thought I was in control of. Like I forgot. Do you ever forget? Right? All right, Thursday night, May 29th, your class. I'm just saying, yeah.
Well, and to remember also, there's only one thing, right? And that's all God. And even in the midst of something that looks really shitty, because we had a really shitty thing happening this week, and it's not mine to tell, but a really bad thing happening this week. And when I got my mind back right, I was able to help and say, but if we believe what we believe, that there's only one thing, and it's all God, then so is this and that person in this situation. It's all the same thing. True, I got
it was easy when you reached out to me. I was able to be that person, but when it was me,
that's why you got to have a tribe.
That's why you have a tribe
because you need something. So thank you for reminding me of that, because when I first was in the stuff of it, I talked to Jeannie, and then Marco Polo'd Jeannie, so I didn't even talk to her. I just dumped it all on Marco Polo, and then she came back with that instant prayer on Marco Polo. She came right back with prayer, and then I was like, "Thank you." She just flipped the switch just immediately, and I'm like, "Thank you." Suddenly, I'm just thinking the whole thing.
Because there's only one.
Thank you. And then I was able to help that whole situation from that one remembrance of the truth of who and whose we are and what's going on here. And so from that space, when we moved through that situation, it was like, either way, no matter what happens, right? It's all good, because guess what? It's all God. And if we've been calling this forth in the negative version of what we think could be going on, so be it. Then it only is for our own good, and it's moving us along this path where we want to go anyway. And if the other thing happens in what we would call the positive version of what we think could happen, it's also all good, and it's also moving us in the right direction. Right. And once we got there and we prayed in before the situation, man, it was a beautiful situation because we got our mindfulness right. We got our mind right, ourself right, and then we moved through it. So I don't know how that situation was going to happen before we did all of that work, but I do know how we moved through it and how it happened and where we are now, which is a great space. And we grew so much through the situation. And so to be able to remember that in those moments can be very difficult. That's why we have a tribe, and that's why you have got to reach out. And even if you have to dump it on a Marco Polo real quick,
Exactly.
and let your tribe come back at, I hear you, that's awful, that's terrible, whatever. And let me remind you one more thing, and let me pray for you right now. And then your mind gets right, and now you're in the present moment. Now you're where all your power, all your ideas, your connections right there, and now you move in the right way, in the way that's going to lead you to what you are trying to, what you were calling in to your experience.
What you were trying to manifest.
What you were really trying to manifest. And like we've said before on the sofa, this was not mine. I don't remember who originally said this, but there was a woman that came to CLF and she gave a talk about the red invitation. You guys remember that? And there was an ivory invitation, a pink invitation, then the red invitation. Remember her? It was great. I can see her plain as day. But anyway, it was all about like, you know that whatever you're doing. So say like it's a relationship situation, you know it's not the one for you, but you stay in it anyway. And you know you should leave. And that's kind of like this ivory invitation. Like you know you're getting this calling like I should go, I should do this, but you don't. But you're not ready or whatever it is, that's fine. But then the pink invitation comes and there's another, now here's this, it's a little bit, something else has happened. You know you should do this, but you still don't do it. Well, now that red invitation is going to come, and that's not a good time. That's like the 2x4 that hits you over the head, and you're like, okay, fine, I'll make the move. Oh my God. You know, right? And sometimes we just need the pain to push us in the direction that we really want to go anyway.
What is it that Michael Beckwith says? Pain pushes until vision pulls.
Sometimes we have the vision of the better life, the better job, the better whatever, the better health, whatever, but we can't, for some reason, it's not pulling us. We're stuck, and it can't pull us out. So it has to get so bad to where it pushes you out. And in that push, we think this is horrible. Everything's awful. Look, it's all falling apart. This and this and this. Or what if you didn't take the ivory invitation? You didn't take the pink one either. So now we're having to push it out. Sure, do you have microphones?
Oh,
We have one. Sorry, I didn't
Go ahead,
see
Andy.
you. I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
Oh, hang on. Let's see. Make
Hold
sure
on
it's
1
on.
second. Let her get the mic on.
Are you on?
Check it. Check.
Hi.
There we go.
That was so awesome because I've been like on fire and my communication is like wide open, and it was such a good practice to say, me, you can hold it. It's
Say it
okay.
louder. Say it louder.
Yeah, you gave me permission and a practice to say, you can relax and let her share, and it was perfect. It was good practice, but it was so perfect what you were saying because it was exactly what I was about to say. All of it's divine, even the breakdowns and the I think that red, like the last one, I am powerfully saying, could you make it more fun a little bit? I know I'm not going to pay attention until there's a major consequence, but even that could be a co-creation. I can even reframe that because we're creative beings. Everything that comes out of our mouth, it's not just describing, it's creating. So we're in the dance, we're divinity, we're in it. It's not like us against, it's like, how does divinity show up? It's everywhere. Even in the muck and the ugliness, it seems ugly. Everything you can break apart and bring polarity or some kind of meaning out of it that actually gains some vision for what's happening. It's like it's all divine.
It's all divine. And even if there's other people involved, they are divine. And they might be feeling like this awful situation, they're awful, whatever, but it's all God. And as soon as we can recognize that, we move through it differently.
Speaking of mindfulness and paying attention, you hit a chord for me when you talked about you were gonna work on your surgery relaxation time. I saw my doctor on Friday for the after visit after the hospital, and I thought it was so cute to show her a picture of the little office that I set up in my hospital room with a toilet over the toilet chair and a tray that I stole from the cafeteria. And she said, okay, I don't usually do this, but I'm going to be your mom. Do you remember the day before you went into the emergency room? Do you remember you were crying because you wanted to go to work? Nobody does that. You know, you need to take care of yourself first. And so just the mindfulness of the fact that it was very difficult for me to just, I could let go of, you know, all the other stuff that I missed because it was 10 days of missing a lot of stuff that was important to me. But I couldn't let go of the fact that I was letting my client down because I should be working. And I actually tried to work in the hospital, and he finally just said, stop, just take care of yourself. Yeah. But the mindfulness of my self-care had definitely gotten out of whack.
Yeah. Oh, so good. You know, I posted a quote that I posted 12 years ago, and I just want to read this to you guys. We should believe that God is the invisible partner in our lives and affirm the divine love goes before us and prepares the way. Ernest Holmes' Creative Ideas. And that, right? No, regardless, and work, God bless Gen X and boomers, because we'll go to work losing limbs. You know, I can go, no problem, right?
It's just a flesh wound.
Yeah, it's just a flesh wound.
I just had a baby.
Yeah. Because we were taught things like that, right? Like, women are having babies in the rice field and pick them up and still keep working, right?
They were in the NICU, and I had my office in the NICU. I
Yeah.
sat in the NICU with my baby.
There is something wrong with our generation's people. Because millennials will not do that. Anybody who has them as employees know this. Ain't happening. Sorry, millennials, I love you.
We love you.
We love you, you know, and they're starting to realize their own, you know, aches and pains. Yeah, we're sorry, really. It happens, you know, but there's where I can say that, like, thank God for 2020, right? When they said, no, please don't. We don't want you going to work and hurting anyone else. Stay your butts home.
Yeah.
That was the first time I realized that it was important to take care of me.
Yeah.
That I am more important than the job, the grocery list, the haircut, whatever that I had wanted. That people interaction of whatever sort, because it was important that these other people that were also trying to get their lives handled while not leaving their home, that they were safe as well. And I think when, you know, I remember Dakota and I watching on TV how the earth was healing from us all being inside, right? Nature was just everywhere. Yes, they, you know, they were walking. You know, I just remember seeing things in Alaska and just having, you know, wildlife walking through.
Yeah.
And we experienced that over the weekend. Wild horses just walking through our campsite and everything. Just how beautifully the world was healing without so many people on the road and everybody walking around and being involved and whatever doing. And I just think that, you know, we need that sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe not at the level of COVID-19. Not at that level, but like an internal, individual remembrance of that pathway to inner peace, to where we do, like, not isolation, not getting away from people type of thing, but that internal, I'm good. I'm going to take care of me. You know, those inside things, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Just take those moments to come into place and ground ourselves. Because I got knocked off Thursday. I got knocked off of being grounded. I didn't go within. I didn't do the things that I talk about on the sofa. Okay. I'm not shaming myself, right? I'm just acknowledging that, you know what? Humanity happens, right?
It is a human experience,
Yeah.
right? We
You
are
know,
here
like,
having
I
a
have-
human experience, so
Yeah,
what
I
more is
had
that?
an emotion that was like, you got to be kidding me right now, you know? And that And it went for a while that day, you know, because I didn't get grounded, because I didn't tune in, because I couldn't find my way back to right here, to center.
Well,
You know?
sometimes it takes a little while.
It
You
does.
have to give yourself some grace
Sure.
around that.
Yeah,
It's
self-compassion is a very
Please,
important
that's-
thing to have.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing I've learned over the last year was, can you give yourself a little bit of grace? Like, look at all the things that you do, been through, helping others with, whatever. Can you cup yourself a few minutes of grace? Like, come on. You know, instead of being so upset that you didn't pick it up right that second, or you
Yeah.
wallowed in it, excuse me if I wallowed in it for a couple of minutes,
Yeah.
you know? Like, you know, give yourself some grace. We are here to have a human experience on purpose.
Yeah.
There is reason for that. You have the mic, Cindy. Go ahead, Cindy.
Yeah. Well, I have a mentor that calls those moments when you get hit with the hammer and that everything's kind of going awry and you just feel like you're in, you know, what was that? Something in Ted's Wild Adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you make sure that's on?
Okay, can you hear me?
I feel like it's coming from there, not from here, though.
Yeah, I can hear you, but here we go. Now the signal's
There
on.
it is.
Is it?
Oh,
Okay, there we go.
thank you.
There we go. So anyway, my mentor calls those destiny points.
Destiny
Like
points.
it's a destiny point. What I do with this is a destiny point. It's like, and it doesn't matter which way you go. It's just a destiny point, and here it leads this way, and here it leads that way, and it's all conspiring for your good, whichever way it goes. But I just like that word, destiny
I like
point.
that too. Thank you.
too.
Yeah.
That's good.
So I wanted to share that, and then I'll share a moment that I wasn't so destiny. Which was in traffic. I was trying to get to my grandson Tristan's birthday party on a Friday night, and I had to drive from Tempe to Litchfield Park. My little Google thing said 49 minutes, so I left at 6 o'clock. I didn't get there until 7:40. The traffic was so bad. And there was like something going on both ways, the 10, and then if you go this way on the 101, something's going on. I was not blessing the people cutting me off. And when I got off the freeway, because it was so late, and then I was kind of like, how come nobody's checking on me? You know, and I'm like, oh, get over yourself. I mean, they're having Tristan's birthday party. That's what they're doing. It's okay. You'll get there when you get there. You know, but it was like, I was just so, it's when I get off the freeway and I call Ashley, and I'm going to say this word, and I I said, I just got off the fucking freeway. So I have to drive like 15 more minutes to get there. And I get there, and I'm like, do you serve alcohol? And he goes,
His birthday
oh, they do. They're smart, they do. But I didn't need it because Tristan came up and said, Grandma, you're here. And he smiled. And better than alcohol. It just brought me back to my center.
Yeah, and that's something to, we can remember that song I love. My love is just a reminder, find your center. Find your center, you know. That's, if you can like flip that around your house, paste it on different things, find your center. Come back to your truth, your center, as these things are growing up. You know, we're gonna have our human experiences, they're gonna come for you, and this is all just a practice. We're just practicing these things we talk about on the sofa. We're doing our best, and sometimes we revert quickly to center, and sometimes it may take several days, several phone calls out to your tribe, and that's just fine. You know, like take a drink. I don't know, whatever calms that down, so we can go. What am I doing?
Right.
Why am I operating from out here when I can come back here, where I know all the right thoughts and moves are, and now I can move from this place.
Right.
Okay, let's but yeah, the grace, the knowing that it's all God. God has your back, even when it seems difficult. You know, even when you were in the hospital dealing with all that, God had your back. The whole universe is conspiring in your favor.
And my tribe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all of the things that are happening, even when they don't look like it, And it may just take us a second to remember that, and that's okay.
Yeah, sometimes it does.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I
And
have
part
a-
of our growth is in that. It's in
exactly.
it's in
That
that
is
space,
in that
right?
acknowledging, right? Because how do you know that you've grown unless you have some practice?
And how
Right.
could you have supported me if I just went right to it myself?
Right.
How would you have had the opportunity to practice your faith too? If I didn't send out that Marco Polo,
Right.
and then now she had an opportunity too to come back and go, oh wait, I know this one. Let me just pray for you right now.
Yeah.
You know, so like sometimes it's not even for you; it's for somebody else. You know.
I got a reading.
I know you do now.
All right,
Oh, wait,
so-
where are we at?
Okay, we're on page 490 in the Science of Mind textbook.
Way in the back.
Way in the back.
All the way in the back. What you got?
At the end, the last paragraph. And this is so funny because Amy was earlier talking about dancing with divinity, right? So this says the world is saturated with divinity, immersed in reality, and filled with possibility. I need that shirt. Okay. We must take this divine possibility and mold it into a present actuality in everyday experience. This is the way to freedom, the pathway to peace and happiness.
Well, did
It's like-
they just bring that right from her?
Well, yeah, I mean, I do have a concordance. I should try to check these things out. I try to bracket up with the Science of Mind every once in a while.
The world is saturated with divinity, immersed in reality, and filled with possibility.
Oh, yes.
What?
That's a lot. Yes.
Man,
Yeah.
that's a lot. Man. Wow. We must take this divine possibility and mold it into a present actuality in everyday experience. Good grief.
Right?
Yeah.
So
It's getting better.
It's
That's so
all
good.
right there.
right
All
there.
that God stuff is right there
Yes.
for us. And what we do with it, you know, that creativity is what changes our experience. I love the, you know, what did you call it? Destiny points, right? So here I got this God stuff destiny point, and what happens with it is now I'm moving, right?
Yeah.
So this destiny point, whether it's traffic or resignation or, you know, big life quake type
Yes.
of thing, what am I going to do with this? Am I going to pray? Am I going to get centered? Am I going to move from a space of everything with love?
Yes.
Or am I going to throw a fit? Am I going to take, you know, and either way, I could still be going the same way.
For sure.
However, I might take longer.
One's got a detour involved.
Right.
Yeah, and you can do it. You can
You
do
can
a
do
detour
detours.
if you want to.
I do a lot of detours.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
It should be on.
Okay.
What I hear is everybody's thinking that it's only what we get out of it and how we react, how we're handling it. That little grandbaby, he didn't care how late. It's not only about us. I got out of bed because I didn't even want to get up this morning. I had a hard time sleeping. I'm like, oh, I could just lay here forever. I'm like, no. We miss opportunities to help somebody else through their job. To let them move, because I can only heal certain parts with this one. I can only heal certain parts. Not everybody's going to be able to touch those things that this person can give me. And that little grandbaby, when we show up, even though we're late, we're down, we're bleeding, we're hurting, but you just drag yourself in. You're giving somebody else the opportunity now to help you, care for you. That whole circle has to be done both ways. Because, you know, you can stand there and have all the things you might want to help homeless, but if the damn homeless ain't allowing or they don't show up, you're going to sit there with all this stuff. So we got to be allowing to let other people help us. And no matter how small we think we're going to be a part of it, that's some BS, because that little grandbaby, he's going to remember that one. He's going to remember that one.
I
Yeah.
love that. And that is
Absolutely.
a huge thing to remember, is that a lot of people have a hard time receiving, but then you're blocking someone else's blessing.
Yeah.
You know, like there was this guy on a reel that I love it. It was a guy that moved with his whole family. They sold everything and left to go to where this ministry was that they'd been watching on TV. He just felt this calling. The wife trusted him, brought his daughter, and they all sold everything and they moved. And the clip, I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's pretty cool. The clip was the guy's talking. He goes, wait, tell me, you did what? And the guy's like, I want you, I'm here. He's got his baby and his wife, whatever. And the end result was the guy said, he calls over one of the guys. He goes, $50,000 like this. I want, get his name on $50,000 to him. And the guy's like, no. And he's like, no. And he goes, hey, no, don't block my blessing. He goes, God just told me to get, God, don't block. And the guy's like, no, just give me a job. I just need a job. He goes, no, I'll give you a job too. But God told me, don't do that. Don't block my blessing. And isn't that weird? You feel, what have you been praying for? What have you been asking for? Help, assistance, whatever. And then someone comes up, okay, well, let me give you $50 check. And the first thing you do is like, no, I just wanted a job. Like, you don't get to choose how God, how the universe works.
Right.
You just receive, right? Because what you're saying is, it's a cycle. It's and you're blocking someone else when you don't allow them to do what they're called to do.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thought, and it took me a long time to recognize that. Just as simple as someone saying you look good that day, and I'm like, oh, I'll throw it back at you. Well, so do you. Like, no, stop that.
Yeah.
Thank you, which is, and this is years. I can do it now without that. But in the beginning, it was hard. I think it was actually Reverend Dr. Michelle who preached on that, and I thought, oh my gosh, I do that all the time. I don't let people give me anything, and it took several years for me to be able to receive. Yeah,
I think the receiving, because I'm a lot like, or had been in the past. I'm getting better. Speaking of receiving, I received these beautiful earrings from Australia, friend Chris.
You're so pretty. You're a big giver. You're a big giver, and it's hard when you're used to this.
Right.
To be
I am a
this.
giver, so being a receiver is so hard sometimes, and I'm also I'll do it myself. Right, I don't ask for help. I do it myself. Yeah, and man, that is a hard thing to get used to asking for help. And can you help me with this? And people are just like, because a lot of times I won't step in unless somebody asks me for help because, right, I'm working on my control issue, right? Because I try to step in and show you how it's done. And, a lot of people don't like that. Actually, 99% of people don't like that. So there's that 1% that's like, yeah, hands off, you got it, Thanks. So yeah, being able to ask and receive help or a compliment or a gift.
It shows up in little ways.
Yeah.
If you have that issue, you'll just check yourself. When's the last time you got a compliment and what'd you do with it? If you threw it back, you wouldn't receive it. Most likely you're doing that everywhere. And that's going to block. You're just blocking yourself. You're just blocking yourself and you're blocking someone else, everybody else too. And we're not here on this planet by ourselves. We're here with other people. And that's why this law of reciprocity is a give and take law. The giving comes first. What comes back.
What you have there?
Yeah, so what's resonating with me is that same thing when you say ask for help. So that's me. I admit, if I'm going to put myself in a 12 step for that I don't want to be seen as weak or incapable.
Yes.
That's I'm not good. So as my self-worth gets stronger, then it gives me the opportunity to then ask for help, because even anything in business or personal, it's like if I ask, then I'm not capable and I'm weak and I'm not confident. But I know that I do need help at times, and just the supportive community here, and you say having people around, and it does give them the opportunity too, because I'm the one that I'll help up and down and give you my left toe if I can.
Right.
I'll do anything that I can, but I don't allow that for myself, because I will then be in my own suffering or creating my own story from whatever may be stuck inside of trauma that I'm not worthy. So as I open that up, so I just appreciate you saying that too, for me is the reminder that I am worthy, and it doesn't mean to ask for help, that if it's not fair if I'm only giving help or blessings to others, that it also can bless them to be there for me when I need it.
Right. And I hear that too, and also if anybody's ever let you down, or they're not moving at the pace you think they should be moving, or whatever. And I have a lot of that. I'll do it my own self. What do I need this? What do I need this? Sorry, honey, but I used to say, what do I need a man for? Because I can do it myself. But that was when I was very young, because I hadn't seen, very often that representation of that. So I used to say this when I was young. What do I need a man for? I'll make my own money. What do I need a man for? I'll get my own job. What do I need a man for? Well, you know what? We need each other, whether it's a man or what. It doesn't matter. We need each other. Even just saying, it doesn't matter. I was calling out a man in a romantic situation. Just my thinking that way at all was saying that I'm blocking everything. Because the way you do one thing is everything.
Right.
So it's like, we do need each other. Get it through my head. I need other people. That's why I'm not here by myself. And in my marriage now, I have been learning to relax in that position, because my husband does want to be needed, and he does want to fill that space, and he doesn't let me down, and that's like a whole new vibe for me. But to be able to relax in that, doesn't it feel so differently when you're around, when you allow yourself to not feel like that's a whole different feeling than, oh, I'm good. I know I got everybody. I'm supported. It's fine. The
Exactly.
I'm good. It's a whole. Now you're in the flow of it all. It's a whole different feeling. Yeah, and it's really great place to be, but doesn't it take work to unravel that survival place of that, and whatever it came from, it takes a while.
I love that you said that, especially about the support. So in my meltdown Thursday, in communication with my partner, I wasn't so kind, because when I'm in meltdown mode, I'm not kind. That's who I am. I need to change that, but that's who I was that day. Yeah. And one of the things Dakota said to me was, I get it. You don't feel supported. And, we were going back and forth in conversation, and I can't tell you anything else that was said, but man, that one just rung in my head. That was it. I didn't feel supported. I felt like, sorry, gentlemen, I felt like I was wearing an old bra that was about to give way. You know what I mean? Like there was a little support, but not enough to keep me going. And keep the girls lifted. And, and see, everybody that's a female in this room is laughing about this right now because they know that bra, right? Like, we don't throw it out. Yeah, like, we don't throw it out. We just keep that bra. It's because you never know what. I mean, yeah. Anyhow, I don't know why we keep it, but because it's an illusion of support, right? There's an illusion of support. It's going to work. Oh, we got a hand on that one.
Well, I know all about that, but I'm going to talk about something else.
Okay.
It goes. I heard this on a podcast this week, and I thought it was really good. We often use the analogy of a butterfly and a caterpillar turning into a butterfly, and it's like transformation, right? But our whole lives are transformation. It's not a one and done.
Amen, sister, preach it.
Right. It's a series of transformations. And in the transformation, the caterpillar has to completely melt. He melts down in order to become the butterfly. So when you're having that meltdown, that's okay.
Butterfly, yeah.
They become mush. They
become mush. Right. And then transformation happens, and then the butterfly emerges.
Right.
But there is that time of liquefying, and we've all done it multiple times.
Yeah. Thank you.
And
Yeah.
that's a good one to remember.
Yes.
That's a very good one to remember. Because I've heard that before too, but boy, I've forgotten it.
Right.
But
Yeah,
how many
love
things
that.
in this world are like this, right? How many from nature can you see? Like when they talk about in business coaching, right? I try to make it really clear. I'm not here to change anything. I'm here to transform. I don't want to change it like the leaves on the trees and you just go back to the green leaf again after you've gone through all the different phases of the seasons, right? I don't want to do that. I want transformation like a seed to a tree. You're never going back. You're never going back to a seed. But what was the process for that seed to break through the ground, to evolve? Like, do you think it was like, woohoo, this feels good? Yeah.
Yeah.
It was dark. It was like dark and whatever. Like, where am I? I can't see. It was all
There
so
was two worms hanging out.
What were the things, right? So like so many, I'm getting chills, so many parts of nature just show us.
Right.
And then the greatness comes, So my husband and I talk about this all the time. When tough things happen, I believe it's part of the calling to your next level of greatness. You have to change. You have to transform. You don't want to change, and because that's just a flow through something, right? It's the transformation, and oftentimes it feels like a meltdown. It's not a good time, Yeah. Look at the support in this.
Yeah, support in the room.
Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome. That whole
old analogy about the tree reminds me that sometimes the most delicate flower breaks through concrete.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Right. Life really
Yes.
cannot be stopped.
It
Nature
cannot
cannot be
stopped.
stopped.
Oh my gosh, say it again.
Right? Life can't be
Cannot be
stopped,
stopped.
right? And
Not.
Erica Bowman, who has actually been on the sofa before, but a friend of mine from BYY, she says, "Life be lifing," and life be lifing, and it's the truth, right? It's like life has its ups and downs and things like we were talking about, right? So I'm thinking again about the seed. We plant the seed, here's the seed. We're being all nice. We're tucking in the dirt. We're watering it and everything, right? And then the seed has to break that to shoot
To break
up.
its own
right?
shell.
Has to
to
break
break
its
its
own
own
shell.
I
Its
mean, stop
own
it.
part to
Stop it.
burst through how we had it all tucked in, right? So that's how I feel. I feel like after last weekend, I was all tucked in. I was all good. I was ready to, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, and now I had to burst through this control. So, yeah.
It's okay.
Well, it reminded me of that line from Jurassic Park, life finds a way.
It's true.
It does, right? Life does find a way. And, oh my goodness. Yeah.
Yes, and thank God.
Right?
Thank God. Life finds a way. Thank God.
Exactly. Sitting at this part of life, at this moment, thinking of all the things that got me here, I will say some of them did not feel good. I'm just going to be honest, right? A lot of things did not feel good. They especially physical maladies that I've had. But then there's been the emotional ones too, that have like broken open my heart. And, I just thought I couldn't breathe again, and then you do. And then you move and you breathe and it shoots up. And then you have another experience, and yeah, it's amazing.
It is amazing. The whole process. But
Well, I was just looking at time. We were like, it's 12:03.
so what, man?
We've been yapping for almost an hour.
We got a big crowd.
We got a big crowd. We just got to keep
How would I
talking.
keep this going? Like, how long can you all stay?
I got a basketball game at 3. Oh, good. We don't have to be done till 3. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how fun it's been for you all to be in here today.
Yes.
So good.
I thought you were going to say, I can't tell you how much fun it's been for you all to hear us.
Oh.
It has been so fun for y'all to be here first. That's why we had to be here. Yeah, I appreciate it. We needed you.
So I would like prayer support today because I have a tough situation later today. And so I have my old handsome Jack is making his transition. So my dog, my pit bull. I know, my handsome man. He is a handsome man.
He's a good boy.
Handsome dog. He is handsome. We're waiting we're all going to be together later, and so he will be with his family, and it's going to be a beautiful moment. And like I've talked with Anne about this, like I'm so grateful for he was a rescue, so we don't know what his beginning life was, but we know it wasn't good because he clearly was traumatized, scars on his face and things like that. And we know that the second half of his journey was full of love and support and excitement when people would come over. Like he just so wonderful, and hasn't had a great relationship with men, but my husband came into our world, and the first time he met Jack, Jack will bite if he feels afraid. He's not aggressive, there's no aggressiveness, but if he feels cornered or scared, he will react because he's scared. So he did bite my husband one time on the hand, and my husband goes, "Ow, he bit me." And I was like, "Wait, oh my gosh, oh my goodness." And he goes, "No, I got this. No." And he puts up the hands in his face, goes, "Hey, you know what? You can bite me all you want, but you and me, we're gonna be friends, and I love it." And he's loving on him, and I was like, and Jack's like, "I don't know what's happening." who came up to him and would not, wouldn't take anything less than a love from him. And now when we come home, he goes to both of us, instead of creeping away, because he'll look at you like, what? And creep away and come to me. But now he's got his tail wagging for him or for me. And I love that he held out for that experience. So I feel like every part of his world was healed.
No, lovely.
Was healed, and now he's transitioning in a peaceful, loving way. Nothing horrible. It's his time. So,
yeah.
So you can hold us in prayer this evening. Keep our family in your prayers.
Absolutely.
Tonight. Yeah.
All right. Speaking of prayer, are you going to pray us out?
I will pray us out.
All right.
Y'all feel that? Breathe that in. Breathe our connection in. Feel all of us in this space together. Recognizing the one power, one presence, the one life. There's only God. There's only love. Recognizing that each one of us are that sparkly, magnificent God stuff manifesting through our bodies, through our minds, through our unique human experience. We are each love. We are each that power. We are each God in our own unique way. Our own laughter, our own joys, our own sharing, our own ideas, coming from one. And from that place of my knowing, from my truth, from who and whose I am, I speak my word for all of us, present here in this moment. We'll be hearing this recording later and beyond. Knowing that as we allow ourselves to rest in this knowing of who and whose we are, as we allow ourselves to feel what this connection feels like, we allow ourselves to be present, to be mindful in every moment. We receive what is ours to receive. We allow the love and the joy and the laughter and the connection to permeate our bodies through every cell, through every organ. We allow it to heal past traumas, past hurts. We allow it to move through us to others. We allow it to grow out into the world, blessing others as we come across their paths. I'm so grateful to be on this journey. I'm so grateful to be on it with others, not alone. I'm so grateful for our time on the sofa and for all of you. I let this go, knowing and trusting that this has already been divinely designed by the mind of God. I let it go, and together we say, and so
it is.
So it is.
What a wonderful time.
What a beautiful morning.
Yes.
Our afternoon now, excuse me.
Anyone?
Anything else?
How can we support
Oh, thank you. Man, you can tell she's been gone a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm out of practice.
she is all out of practice. Yeah. Well, you can support us in a couple of different ways. One, by showing up here, which we love.
Oh, this has been beautiful.
This has been amazing. Yes.
Please be here. We're creating such a beautiful community together. And I know some of you can't be here in person because you're online. I'm so grateful that we can do that. But if you are local, don't let that stop you from coming here.
Yes.
You should be here. You should be receiving this connection.
Yes. And online, like and subscribe. We always enjoy adding to our community. And if you feel this feeds you, you can also join us as a Spiritual Church Club partner, which is $45 a month or $75 for a couple or family. And you can go to beginwithin.com and
Begin
join
Within Ministries.
Oh yeah, sorry. Beginwithinministries.com. Don't listen to my words, just read the sign. And you can go for a one-time donation or to join as a spiritual church club partner. And you're like, why should I become a partner?
Well, you want one of these. You want one of these mugs.
You want a mug. You want a mug. I mean,
I know you do.
you gotta have a mug.
And when we get to 100 spiritual church club partners, we're gonna get jerseys.
Yes.
Anne wants hers real bad.
Yeah, she's like working on it. Yeah. She's like, you know, she's like our marketing manager, but like she said, she was told not to work during recovery. So, you know.
It didn't work.
It doesn't work.
So there you go.
And we want to do more things like this. So we just had our big concert.
We did.
And
It was amazing.
We're going to give a little sneak preview that we are forming another concert, but this time it will be a full retreat. That will be next year, and as soon as we lock in the dates, we will start promoting that.
Yes.
So just so you know, big things happen, and for the sofa, and it's because of our partners that help us
absolutely.
to do that financially. So the more that we have, the more things that we can do. You and I have workshops coming up this summer.
We do. Yes, we
And
do
our
have
partners
workshops
get that for
coming up.
free. Our
Yes.
partners get that as
Our
part of
partners
their
get
membership.
anything that we teach for free. Yes.
Right. So we want to share that with all of you. We want to do as much as we can. We want this ministry. We know this ministry is growing, and we want you to be a part of it. So if you feel called to do that,
There you
do
go.
it. Yeah.
So we're going to say goodbye, True.
I don't really want to say goodbye.
I know, but
I feel like I don't.
but it's that time. We love you. We'll see you next week.
Bye for now. Goodbye.
Thanks for watching. Tune in again next week at 11:11 a.m. Pacific Time, or Monday evening at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. In partnership with New Thought Media Network.